Okay, to my video YouTube viewing audience, what inspires you? What motivates you? All right, everybody, don't raise your hands at once. Hello there, and welcome to yours truly, Miss Anita. And thank you to all my YouTuber family. See my guest. Yes. I brought my company with me and my other friend over here. Yes. Today I want to challenge everyone, including all of my YouTubers who have multiple channels and are doing quite well with their content influence. Well, the question that I want to pose to you today is, what inspires you? I bet I know what it is. To make you get up in the morning to either go to work every day, maybe to a job that you're not all that crazy about. Could it be maybe is your significant other, your spouse? Could it be your children? That motivates you or inspires you to keep moving forward. Or could it be your inspiration comes from the thought of starting up your own business, being your own boss, having control of your own life? How about that? Or it could be a number of things that inspire you at any given day. Maybe you was inspired during this pandemic like I was to learn some new recipes. Maybe you are inspired to learn a musical instrument that you've always wanted to do, maybe since childhood. Or perhaps you're inspired to learn another language because you plan to travel and go to other countries in this world and you'd like to be able to speak the language. Or unless your job is going to promote you if you can take on a second language and be bilingual. How about that? That could be inspiring right there. More money in your pockets. So yes, the question today, and I hope that you get something out of this here at yours truly, Miss Anita, what inspires you? Well, I asked the question, what inspires you, because it could be a number of things that inspire you. I know there's many things that inspire me. I'm inspired by certain songs. It just triggers an emotion and it makes me feel really good. And it puts me in a really positive place. So that inspires me. Sometimes it's movies. It touches my heart. And I wonder if it's movies that you really enjoy that really just gripped your heart or maybe even got you to the point to want to do something with your life or change something. Um, Sometimes things as simple as, like you saw in my intro, my flowers. We're in fall now, it's beautiful colors, and just looking at flowers and the trees, the scenery, the blue skies when we have them, as it's been raining the last few days. But those are the things that inspire me and motivate. It makes me feel good, gives me the energy to want to do something. But there are specific things that we do in our lives that inspire us and motivate us to do something. And that's what I want to address. And if you like what you hear, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment because I want to hear from you. What inspires you? And if you don't mind, please subscribe. Now, I asked a few people, one of them being my son and the rest are my friends, what inspired them to do some of the things that they've ventured out to do in their lives. And one of the things that my son shared with me, he was in a poetry group that he actually started. It was named Bars, B-A-R-S, that he started on his Facebook page. But initially, when he first started poetry or writing poems, he told me initially it was because he liked a girl. So, we as females, we do like poetry, and women write poetry as well. And I thought that was really sweet. But what he didn't know while he was continually writing and as the time went on, through the years, um, he was watching, and I don't know if any of you guys know of a deaf poetry jam that was pretty popular. I don't know during that time, but that inspired him even more to start writing. And on his Facebook page, he would leave some of his poems, and some of the people that followed him or on a Facebook, they too wrote poetry as well. And I think he felt that, or either he might not have known that there was a community where people of like mind who write poetry could share their skills with one another and be encouraged, as well as offer also some good constructive criticism. So that's where he started bars on Facebook. Had a few meet and greets. I actually attended one of them. It was very nice, and all the poetry writers that came into town, they all had a chance to share their talents, their poems to one another, and it was really nice. And I was invited as a guest, and I appreciate it. And that wasn't the only thing that my son ventured out to do. He also started a dance team. He used to love hip hop dancing back in the day, and he was inspired by the movie back in the 80s. I don't know if you guys remember, called Break In. He mastered that. He got in front of a mirror, practiced and practiced until he got really good at it. And then eventually he came across other people who enjoyed dancing and doing hip hop dancing specifically, and started a dance team. And then later he started teaching hip hop dancing. And I remember going to some of those functions too, because I think, and I forget, it was some kind of dance tournament that you would go to, because he actually won a few awards there. And when I used to have my women's group, we have conferences once a month. It was Women Highly Favored, and I would invite him and his dance team to come and perform at our conference, and they really enjoyed him, and it actually opened up some other doors to other people who ran their own organizations to come and perform there. So those are some great opportunities for him. But yeah, he said what inspired him was watching that movie Break In, and he just practiced and practiced until he got really good at it, and that's what sent him off in the direction as far as starting his dance team and teaching classes. Okay, so after chatting with my son, I also spoke to a few of my friends, and one of my friends is Sharon. She started up, or was a founder of, an organization called Reach Out Lakota, and she started back in 1992. She was inspired because she saw a need in the community. This organization is based on the needs of helping families who are faced with hard times, and she also support the kids in the community. The organization was established with a group of volunteers who wanted to help out in their communities as well. So it was a lot of volunteers, and that's kind of what set it off. And I believe she linked up with the church eventually, and then it just kind of grew and grew up, obviously, over the years. Um, so she reached out to local leaders and businesses for donations and support of the vision to help struggling families within the community during a time of need. Sharon is very passionate about what she does, and she has been doing this for over 30 years. And then another one of my friends, her name is Etta. Uh, I've had the pleasure of knowing her for several years, and she is pursuing her PhD, working on her dissertation. Now, if any of you guys have a PhD out there, know what she's going through as far as the dissertation. So she's almost close to the very end, so that's beautiful. But I want to know what inspired her. She worked directly with women who have been victimized by domestic violence, and for several years now, she works in the field of family violence for anger management. I know that that may not be something that you guys may not want to hear, but this stuff does go on, and we do need people out there who work in that field. professionals who work in that line. Um, these are some of the things that she does in addition to what I just shared. She works in the courtroom as a victim's advocate, and as an educator at Miami University, Oxford, Ohio, where she taught in the classroom for social work and family services, which is what also inspired her during that time to pursue her PhD because she already had her master's. This was through her own personal experience dealing with domestic violence years long ago. She holds many titles. She is a public speaker, and I've gone to some of her um, events. Also, a minister of Christian faith. She married my son and my daughter in law. And as well, of course, she teaches abusers of domestic violence to control anger through anger management. She also teaches victims how to stay safe. Throughout her career, she has won many awards over the years. This year, of course, she won the Outstanding Woman of Achievement. Yay! Of my good friends. And then another friend of mine who I just recently met this year is also a YouTuber. He has his own channel. His name is Brent, and his channel is Roadrunner89. Now, he's a white guy who's married to a black woman. They've been married over 27 years, a very successful marriage, and I'm really honored to call him my friend. I follow a lot of interracial couples on YouTube, and I stumbled across him a few months back. So his inspiration came from having a successful marriage, being in an interracial couple. And as we know, marriages as a whole is challenging enough since the divorce rates keep rising. But then to be in an interracial marriage that's a plus. That's two thumbs up for him. So he offers ways to keep an open mind when it comes to dating outside of your race, and to keep all options open. And I really like that. It's really positive. Also, as we know, love comes in many colors, and he offers a positive platform to share his experience and to consider opportunities to find love for a serious relationship that's going to lead, hopefully, to marriage. Another one of my friends, her name is Kim, and she shares and what she shared with me is what inspires her, and that is seeing people live well according to their own vision and goals. Now, Miss Kim is on a lot of involved in a lot of nonprofit organizations, and she sits on the board. And I'll just list a few. She's very involved. For her, it's about helping others succeed and thrive. So she's the president of Good Life. I think it's Good Life Network. You can pull it up online. It's connecting families and individual lives with disability, supporting the disabled to connect them with the community, developing relationships so they're not feeling isolated. Okay, and that's Good Life Network. She's also a board member of the Butler County Mental Health and Addiction Recovery. So she's a chair to one of their mental health committees. She's also a board member of the Butler County Suicide Prevention. She is the president of a local women's club for political party affiliation. And she is a board member of United Way. Now, United Way is very popular. I know the majority of you probably have heard of it. And you know that they do help people when there's a crisis or something's going on. So her thing is always about helping people, which is a beautiful thing. And I'm honored and happy to have each and every one of the ones that I just told you about, and of course my son, and consider them my friend. Each of these folks that I surround myself around, they inspire me, and I have great admiration for each of them. So, what inspires you is what I want to ask. So I just wanted to talk to you guys for a few more minutes and wrap this up. And I want to pause for just a moment to say again, if you like the information that you heard, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to, that would be helpful. But what I want to share with you is what inspired me to start my own YouTube channel. And I think it was because I was always on YouTube, whether it was looking for information, uh, if I bought a device or something, I could not understand the instruction. I'm like, I know what? I will go on YouTube to see if it's on there. And chances are 9 times out of 10, it was on there. And so I went to YouTube many times for information, sometimes to motivate me. I tell you, some of the people that I really like that inspired me, one of the ministers, his name is Judah Smith from Church Home. He inspires me spiritually. But another person that inspires me since I've been on YouTube is Sean Kennel from Think Media. And I think I've mentioned this before. He has a lot of good nuggets, a lot of good information, a lot of good content out there for people who are starting off as YouTubers who are starting their own channels, and not only just for us as well, but for those who've been doing this for quite some time. And so I listen to a lot of his videos. And then I'm inspired by so many different things. I go on there because I like home decor, and there's so many lovely women out here who fix their homes up beautifully. Now, you know, earlier I said that I'm into interior design. I went to school for it. But it's nice to see other folks' homes and how they fix their homes up. Now, we all got different square footage in our homes, so some people have more space than others. But it's nice to see, how do they fix their bedroom? How do they decorate their rooms? How do they decorate their living room? And then of course, around the holidays, I like to see the decorations for Thanksgiving, for festivity holidays, around Christmas, and hopefully around that time I'll have my tree up. But I like to go on YouTube to see what other people is doing for their, as far as decorating. And there's a lot of beautiful fall decorations out there for this year. I'm also inspired too because, as I said, I go to my one friend's channel that deals with interracial couples because I'm very inquisitive about that. I mean, as a black woman, I want to consider all my options. And I've been following other couples or interracial black couples, women who are married to white men, just to see how they're doing and how they interact. And I don't know, I really enjoy it, and I love the information that they provide. Some of the couples that I follow is Gay Babe TV. That's one, been following them for several years now. Another one is the Rush Fam, and they're they was out of Canada, but a few months ago they recently moved to Miami, Florida. Another couple that has several kids is the Grimway Gang, and they live in England. But I love them. They're a Christian family, and I love their children are beautiful. She's actually expecting another child. They have 6 kids, so they're going to have their 7th child soon. So these are some of the people that I follow on YouTube. That gave me inspiration. I had said back in 2017 that I was going to start up my own YouTube channel. I created it, but I never activated. I never did. You know, I just let it sit there on the show. Channel telling us sometimes you just got to jump out there. You got to do it messy. You just got to take a chance, take a risk. And so if you're doing it messy, at least you're doing something than just sitting on the sidelines trying to figure out what you want to do. So that motivated me. And here I am today, again, yours truly, Miss Anita. Now, I'm going to wrap this up. And again, I challenge you guys, what inspires you? Please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thank you so much for coming by. I'll see you soon on the next video vlog. Goodbye.